So we got our detail back onto the mesh that has this going on. So the first thing I want to do with these feathers is I want to step down to the lowest subdivision. Actually, let's go to second to lowest. There we go. And I want to shape each feather. And I want to do this at the lowest subdivision, so we have fewer polys to move. We run less risk of getting lump sculpt from doing this. And we may run into an issue where we start moving other feathers. And the reason why we polygroup this is so that we can go into brush auto masking and do mask by polygroups. So that way I'm not affecting the feather next to it, I'm only working on the one feather. So I'm just coming in and shaping, building back in around this here, where things have gotten a little pointy, and making pointy let's become round. A little bit of a tricky spot down here. Looks like the geometry's become a little bit folded. Let's smooth it out so we can separate these points. There we go. You want to keep an eye out for that too. Look for those folded, that folded geometry. Inevitably, you're going to have some somewhere, and you want to make sure that you unfold it. All right, so now that we've worked on that shape a little bit, maybe we can do a little bit more, or I can do a little bit more than what I've done. Looking at it from a distance. This guy's a little too wide. I think that's a much more handsome silhouette. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and step up to our higher subdivision. So now let's turn off our polygroups and let's start sculpting some feathers. So once again, we have, getting a little bit more roundness here. We have these all separated. We have our masked by polygroups all the way up. And I'm going to start with the clay buildup. I want to make sure my back face mask is on, and I want to confirm that my mask by polygroups is on. Let's slow down one, maybe that's a little too high of a subdivision. Go. And this way, this is automatically going to give us that nice, sharp separation between each feather. I'm going to start just by doing this, just by building it up, each individual feather. Alright, so there's our basic on the top, and then we'll want to go into the bottom. Let's do the opposite. So we're going to dig in. I want to be careful not to flatten this out. So look, here's the intensity down. And be a little bit more ginger. And this is also a good way to ensure that our detail down on the bottom, if we're sculpting on the bottom of the wing, is lining up well with what's happening on the top of it. That all of our lines here make sense. I'll figure out what to do with that later on. Look at it from a distance, see where everything's terminating. Just blend in. It's not quite so harsh. You want to make sure that you haven't folded your geometry. So look around the edges and make sure everything still has a thickness to it.